Ukraine is not neutral. Ukraine is, in fact, more NATO today than they have ever been in their entire existence. And NATO is not folding like a house of cards. NATO is doubling down on reinforcing its frontiers, bringing forces toward the Russian border, not away from the Russian border. And the eastward expansion of NATO that Russia said, we don't want to have anything to do with. It's a red line for us. I don't know what you call Finland and Sweden seeking to join NATO other than the eastward expansion of NATO up to Russia's borders. I mean, they're going to have a new, very long border with Russia if Finland and Sweden, in fact, join. So while this doesn't mean that is the final outcome. I mean, look, Europe's got a lot of problems. It's one thing to talk about deploying troops to the NATO's frontier. It's another thing to actually pay for it and make it happen. And we don't know if NATO is going to be able to do that. Europe right now is undergoing a economic shock that could get much worse than it already is. And it's difficult to see how they can fund, for instance, a $210 billion plan to de-link themselves from Russian energy, which the European, I think, Commission or Council just talked about. It's a plan, by the way. It's full of theory and stuff, nice graphics, but it hasn't been implemented. Just like their military plans, lots of theory and graphics and arrows and such, but nothing permanent has happened. How do you afford this? I don't know if Europe can afford this. I don't know if NATO is going to survive. People say, oh, it's expanding. Really, has it expanded yet? Because Turkey has sort of put a marker on the table saying, we're not happy. It's not about the expansion, but about who they're expanding with. Turkey's very unhappy about the pro-Kurdish stance taken by Sweden and indirectly Finland. Croatia's not happy. They're like, hey, we've got this big problem in the Balkans still. It's called Serbia, Kosovo, and we might want to settle the Balkans first before we go off and create a new adventure in the north.